Welcome back to Free Guys Customs. Not a lot of video, but we have been busy. Every other time I've built a double engine bike, I already had the engines, right? So when I did the glowworm, I always had multiple engines, Suzuki GS engines. When I built the double 80, right? Again, it was after I amassed multiple dirt bikes. With this one, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to find another 465. So I've been doing this whole thing now with just the one engine, meaning normally I would set these up and then build the engine, the frame around it. But now I kind of got to, I put this in place, figured out where it's going to go, moved it over here, came up with its own bracketry, then just welded that together. And I'm kind of guessing, like, to figure out, like, where does this bar have to go? I'll move this engine over here, right? So it's been a chore because I gotta keep going back and forth. But that said, I'm pretty sure this is how we're going to set everything up. Everything's gonna fit. I've got this engine set up just high enough so the exhaust will clear right here. Mink, mink. Again, like the focus of this build, the focus of the build, really, I want to showcase the rear suspension, the shock. I think it's a really cool visual. Right, so I'll be sitting right here. When I build the tank, I'm gonna have like a relief here. So the tank will be here, maybe a little bit of tank up here, and then just, right, especially if you saw the other side, it really just like shows that the shock is here. I'm using a GS550, Suzuki GS550 front end. It's the shortest length of shock that I could find. Couldn't use the front end that came with my YZ465 because it's really long, and it has too much of a modern look. I went through all my other dirt bike shocks, front forks, and they were all way too long. This is the shortest one I have, and I still think it's too long. I kind of wish it was maybe an inch lower, but again, got to work with what I have. I've actually built this frame 3 different times because every time I got done, I saw a better way to do it. I'm actually really happy with how this is right now. The only other piece is I want to put something here to support the engines in the middle. But besides that, I'm going to replicate everything here, right here. The beauty of this, of using a dirt bike is, 4 wire electronics, 4 wires to the CDI, right? 1 wire to the coil, and it runs.
3 weeks later.
So this thing took me about a month of building it, tearing it apart, rebuilding it again. And again, and the whole time I was trying to find another bike. And yesterday, I found one up in Wyoming. It was a mere 5 hours away, but it's literally the only other YZ465 for sale in my price range, in about a 350 mile radius. And, right, it may not look like much to you, but this thing is in 10 times better shape than the bike I started with. The exhaust is way nicer, not all busted up and dented. I have a actual working foot peg now. I didn't have a chain guard before. The other big thing is that while it came with a clutch cable, the mechanism to actually hold the clutch cable in place, I had no idea how that worked. So now that I have this one, I do, which is good. I only need one clutch cable. Well, if I'm going to connect it through the engines, through the crankshafts, I'm only going to need one clutch cable. The swing arm, the rear swing arm is in way nicer shape, much cleaner, not as scratched up as my other one. But again, I have a disc brake front wheel, but no disc brake front caliper. So I don't know how that, I'm obviously not going to use that. This front end is 3 inches longer than this one, so obviously still not going to use the stock YZ465 front end. But this bike, again, gives me a better insight on how things are supposed to work, as opposed to how I rigged up a bunch of stuff, because I had no idea. So moral of the story is, if I had stuck to my original plan and used the YZ400, I can find those things, you know, everywhere. On Marketplace right now, there's a guy in Texas selling two. And on the way to him, I'd stop in New Mexico and pick up another 400. But I now have two 465s. Super stoked about that. This one, again, better shape, doesn't run. I think most likely the rings are worn out. I tried a bunch of stuff, swapped a bunch of stuff off, because this one runs. Swapped a bunch of stuff off of here onto here. It has spark, and I've dumped a whole bunch of gas in it, so it has fuel. But again, like it doesn't, kicking it through is much harder on this one than this one, which makes me believe that it's going to need at least rings, which is fine, because not racing this year. And the biggest part to me is I can now take this engine, put it in here, see where everything lines up, and see if all my guesswork is right. So again, super stoked about that. Once I have, we're going to tear this thing down. Once I have both engines in this chassis, stop it. Once I have both engines in this chassis, I'm probably going to do like a head and piston swap, and just to see if I can get this thing fired up and rolling. Plan for the winter is still to rebuild both engines, right? I mean, split the cases, go in and replace all the bearings, all the seals, everything, to make sure that next year she'll be ready. In the meantime, I might still bring it to the Bonneville Motorcycle Speed Trials this year and use it as a double engine pit bike, because that's what you do. So yeah. So that was an eventful couple days. We got this guy finally. No more Photoshop. It's really real now. I got the front engine in place. Actually sits in better than I thought. Next steps now is to figure out how we're gonna couple these engines together. I got a couple ideas on right. Am I gonna go through the transmissions, or should I go through the crankshafts like we did with a double 80? You know, again, all things I'm happy to start working on now that I finally can see how this is gonna work. My biggest thing now is on the 80, the engines were close enough that I could use a Yamaha Banshee, the quad. I could use the throttle cable from that, but these are spaced just a little bit too far apart. So I may have to think. Plan A is going to be get the Banshee cable anyway, and then just build my own longer extended cables. So that's going to be option one. Option two will be just to run two throttle cables and connect them up before it gets to the actual throttle itself. But again, all things I'm super happy to try to figure out.